Hi West Texas, I'm Burt Sempier and welcome into episode 4 of our VCAS series Chat with the Chief, featuring none other than San Angelo Police Chief Travis Griffith. Chief, once again, thank you for making the time and being here. How are you today?
Awesome. It's a great day. I think I love this first taste of real fall weather, and thank you always for having me.
Are you a fall weather guy, or do you prefer the 80s and 90 degrees?
I mean, I like all the seasons, right? So I think if you get too much of one of them, then you kind of get burnt out. So the good thing is with West Texas, this will be short-lived.
That's true. Are we past false fall yet, or is that coming up?
Well, you never can tell with West Texas weather. That you would think you would be past it, but we'll see.
We'll see. Fingers crossed for some cooler temperatures.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right, let's hop into it, Chief. So on Tuesday of this evening, you and the SAPD had an important community meeting in Santa Rita. You guys had a great turnout. What did you take away from the meeting with everyone in town, and what can people look forward to in the future?
Yeah, I'm excited about that. It's our first of our series, really, and we're going to be doing that in about 4 or 5 different locations throughout town. And what we're really looking for is that, I've said it several times, but we don't want to be an occupying force, right? We want to be a police department that polices together with that relationship that's built through the community, because just as much as the community needs us, we need the community. And so this is a great way to find out how things are working out in regards to issues they see, how we're doing with our job, what can we be doing better, and then also to kind of put us on the same page of here's why we do some of the things we do, and that in itself is just the most important aspect to any relationship is communication, right? So that's what we're making sure we're opening up those lines of communication and keep them open.
What were some of the concerns or just some of the feedback that you got from residents on Tuesday?
Yeah, in particular, so for Santa Rita in particular, that it is an area that is accessible from every side angle you can think of, right? So because of that, we have property crime is one of the highest per capita in the town. That doesn't mean that Santa Rita is some crime-ridden. It's just in the grand scheme, it is slightly higher. And that numbers bear that out. So we've had different strategies for policing that and try to prevent crime, and we talked about what the options could be and what they can do, what we can do, and then we try to develop those plans based off of our analytics that we get from our crime data and stuff that we try to put out there. One cool thing I think we're going to be doing for in and around the Halloween, we're going to have some bicycle patrol out. It's always fun for the kids to be able to see the officers right there. Police cars are cool, right? But when you can be right there and be easily accessible and get stickers and stuff like that to the kids, that's always fun.
Absolutely.
So we'll have that in 3 different parts of town. So
I'm an adult, and I think police cars are cool.
Yeah, right.
And you get to drive in them.
Right. Well, I don't anymore. I have a civilian car now. I get the good police cars to the officers that need it. So
there you go, the men and women on the front lines.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One final thought about these community advisory meetings.
Yes, sir.
The plan is to have them in other parts of San Angelo. Where are you looking at holding some of these?
The next one we're looking to is anything north of the Loop, basically. So we're going to look at some different options for venues. We'll look anywhere north of Houston Hart and get up there in and around 29th Street, Junius area, so that way we can kind of open up to anybody to have the same questions, concerns, and comments.
We know that SAPD, the men and women, are on the front lines.
Yes, sir.
And do their best to protect us, but this is also a relationship where community members can help you as well. If
Absolutely.
You see something, say something.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of times the SAPD will send out tips, hey, we're looking for this person, or do
Yes,
you
sir.
know anything about this incident? So SAPD is actually looking for a 43-year-old Ricardo Ramos. What can you tell us about this search and investigation?
Yeah, so basically everybody that we run into has different priorities in regards to what gets put out to the public, basically. If you do it all the time, then people won't really pay any attention, right? So in this particular case, detectives are looking for him and wanting to be able to help close out their case. And you can go to our Facebook and check it out. We have a post on him. And if Mr. Ramos is watching, I would suggest that he turns himself in for that. It's much easier when you turn yourself in. Doesn't mean that they're guilty, right? They'll have their day in court, but what it does mean is that the judge has ruled that they need to be brought to justice. And so that's what we're asking for, is to get the wheels turning. And then also, if you are out there and want to get some money, then you can call 658-HELP. They can go to Concho Valley Crime Stoppers. Anybody can provide information that leads to their arrest. They can get money put in their pocket for that. And that's what we ultimately want to see, is get the case going, get the detectives be able to make contact with their suspect and work through what they have left, and so that's what we shoot for.
Whether it's with Ricardo Ramos or another incident, something that's even small, you always hear from police agencies, turn yourself in, that's a lot better for you.
Yes, sir.
I guess if someone does turn themselves in, how much better could that be for them in the long run?
Sure. So the number one thing for suspects out there, that you don't have to bring all the frustration, pain, and the stuff that goes along with all your family members and your friends, right? Police are going to be commonly going, looking for you, trying to find stuff, your employer and stuff like that. So we don't have to waste those resources, and they don't have to be focused on the embarrassment or the hassle, if you will, of those family members and friends and coworkers. And then ultimately, I think it helps when you're talking about a court case, whether or not you are innocent in your own mind or guilty or whatnot, either way, that it'd be able to show that you're wanting to kind of redeem yourself, right? You can't expect to get grace without ownership of wrongdoing, right? I think that's a smart way of looking at it. That when the average prosecutors and judges and everybody else that's involved in cases are people just like us. So if somebody comes to them and they own their mistakes and address where it's at, then I think we find, just through the order of human nature, that we want to tend to be a little bit more compassionate in those areas. So no guarantees, no promises, right? That's just kind of where it falls.
I think it's also important to note that the search doesn't stop. If someone does something in San Angelo and they end up in whatever state, you
Yes,
name
sir.
it, that it seems like, especially nowadays with cameras and surveillance and interagency cooperation, that at some point justice will be served.
Yes, sir, and that's the plan. And so sometimes we have some cold cases that we're still working through, and I think that it never stops, and we're always trying to develop leads and find angles and track people down. And in this case, I think we'll get there pretty quick, and especially with the people of San Angelo. They help out. So if you know the whereabouts, then let us know, and we'll get it taken care of.
One thing I learned very quickly after moving to San Angelo was that the community here really does appreciate the men and women in blue.
Absolutely, and I think that's what makes San Angelo very unique, is that we're small enough. We have a big town amenities, right, with small town feel. And I think that really helps bolster that relationship with the police, and people see us and know us, and the more that we just are real intentional about having these meetings, having the national night out, doing the coffee with the cop, and hopefully soon we're going to have cops and cones, or cones and cops. I think we have to pin that out, but I think cops and cones has won out as the name, so where we can go ahead and do ice cream instead of coffee. So hopefully get more kids. Kids don't really like coffee, so
Maybe coffee flavored ice cream.
right. There you go.
I remember having that as a kid. It was good.
Yeah.
So 5 of your officers, them and their families, recently celebrating.
Yeah.
Earlier this month, 5 got promoted.
Yes, sir.
Let me just make sure I have this correct. 3 to the rank of sergeant,
Yes, sir.
2 lieutenant.
That's
That is
correct.
a tongue twister.
Right.
Happy days for SAPD.
Yeah, so we're really blessed, and I think that's just one thing that God's really had his hand on our department lately, is we have some awesome young leaders that are coming up, and these are not just some guys that have some leadership qualities. They've been, especially at the lieutenant rank, those 2 gentlemen that were promoted have been in just about every capacity of our department, and that helps really have a well-rounded commander, or a lieutenant, right? What would you call it? And that's what we look for, right, is being able to have folks that can help lead the way. Because I'll be here, and I don't know for how long, however the good Lord has me to be here, right? But we want to be able to develop our future, right, and get the quality training, get the right people where they need to be, because when you have those key people in the right place, the future is bright. And that's what we're shooting for.
How do you choose when a promotion takes place? Are there people in other departments within the department saying, hey, chief, maybe look at this man or woman? How does that process kind of take place?
Yeah, so we have a civil service process, which is not unusual to Texas. And basically what it is it's a merit-based system. So you go through and you'll take a written exam when we have an opening, so through attrition. When an opening or a new position is created, then you'll go take an exam, and then that you get kind of ranked off of that, and then we have an extra process through meet and confer, which is where we have an assessment center. So we bring in of the same or similar rank will come in from different departments that don't know these candidates, and they will kind of put them through the paces. Put different scenarios out there. You have to give different written responses, and then they ask you why you answered certain ways and why did you do this, and then they grade you on that. And then you come out with a combination of those two grades, and whatever the highest grade is there is ranked at number 1, and then number 2, and number 3, and so on and so forth. And so it's really a pretty solid way to make sure you have quality candidates that are out there where you need them to be.
We have 2 major events coming up. You touched on one just a little bit, and last time we spoke about it. It's Halloween.
Yes,
Everyone's
sir.
looking forward to
Yes,
it.
sir.
The trick-or-treating, seeing the kids out in their costumes and having a good time. I'm sure the SAPD is excited as well, but also maybe some worry just because it gets dark earlier and people are driving and maybe not paying attention. Your thoughts on the upcoming Halloween and making sure we can all stay safe?
Yeah, I think the main thing if you're out driving, even kind of the days leading up to that, is to be thinking about some people go out earlier than others, and is that to be watchful on the road, right, and give yourself a little extra time in that evening hours coming home. Slow down a little bit. That in itself is just better, and it's also a little bit more relaxing. you're just taking that extra little bit of time to get home.
It's like a Sunday drive.
Yeah, you can just kind of chill a little bit. And then those for out there with their kiddos to pay extra attention, watch your crosswalks, and use those heavily. Don't just run across the road. Try to use that in a U shape, right? So you do one side of the road and then come back into the other side of the road, and you can kind of even snake your way through the neighborhood that way, because that keeps you from crossing the road as much. If you're going to wear any type of costume that is, try to add a little extra light to it, especially those dark colored costumes. Put a little flasher on there, some sort of thing to kind of highlight the kids. If you're just wearing all dark clothing and you go running out, you sure can't see those kids, right? So brighter the costume, the better. More lights, the better. And just common sense approach.
Did you ever have a favorite costume when you were a kid?
You know, I did not. I think at the end of the day, I found the costume I wanted, and it was being the police, right? So I get to wear it every day.
There you go. Hey, not a bad costume to put on the badge every single day and make sure your community is safe.
Yes, sir.
And then I am most certainly not breaking any news, but we have Election Day in a few weeks.
Yes,
we
sir.
know that tensions are high when it comes to the race for the White House.
Sure.
We even have an important Senate race between Ted Cruz and Colin Allred, which will have national implications. What does the SAPD do to get ready for Election Day? There's different polling places.
Yes,
I
sir.
guess just, again, make sure people are safe. Maybe you work with other agencies saying, hey, we have heard a threat about this, or we haven't heard any threats, but how does SAPD get ready for one of the most important days, if not the most important day on our calendar?
Yes, sir. Well, first off, I had a conversation with the sheriff, right, and he's responsible for that. It's a county office there that runs the elections here in Tom Green County. I think first and foremost, we're blessed to live in a community that I think respects each other in a much different thing than we've seen in other parts of the country. So regardless of whether or not you lean one direction versus the other, that we respect each other, and I think we will continue to see that here because of the quality of people. And when it comes to making sure that that's safe, the sheriff has a game plan. I trust his response he's got set up. And then what we're going to be doing is we have the early election locations going to send out to our commanders to hey, put extra patrol, stop in, make sure you look for anything odd in the parking lots, things like that. And then on election day, we have so many different locations. We have all those spots that will be put out to our officers to just check in, make sure things are good, be cognizant of the fact that it is a lot more stress going on this year, so to speak. And so we're going to make sure that we make sure there's nothing that that would be out of the ordinary. We're going to keep it safe, keep it real, and hopefully we will be able to make everyone feel safe when they go to vote.
And it's okay to disagree on anything, politics,
Right.
whatever it may be, but as long as we're civil and have a respect for each other, then I think we'll be okay.
I 100% believe that is what we got to get back to, is having that discord where we can have the conversations and be real.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Chief. Any final words of wisdom before we wrap up episode 4, sir?
Yeah, as we get back to the fact that elections are here, and to know that regardless of what happens, that our country has been strong for a long time, and it will find the light at the end of the tunnel. And this is not the end-all, be-all. That we can always put our best foot forward, and we can hope and pray for the candidate that we want. But at the end of the day, God's in control, and no matter what the outcome is, He'll walk us through as a country.
Absolutely. And as long as the community stays together like this community has done since my time here, and I'm sure way before that, San Angelo will be okay as well.
100%.
All right, Chief Travis Griffith, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Burt.
That'll do it for episode 4 of our VCast series, Chat with the Chief. Remember, if you have any questions for Chief Griffith, you can text them to 325-655-6006. And remember, for all things news, weather, and sports, head on over to our website, foxwtx.com.